I feel but we all should be custodians of where we live. We don't own this public land, but I think we've got a responsibility to look after it. We know we pay quite a lot of rates to the council, and a lot of people think, well, the council ought to do it, but we live in an area where the rate base is quite low and properties are fairly large, and generally we're a fairly well-off part of Sydney.
I suppose I do it because I'd like to do something in the community that's a volunteer. I think put some of my energy back into the community, and the bush is something that I enjoy. I love walking, and so I love being out in the bush, and like your wife, it annoys me like crazy when I see weeds everywhere and I want to just get them all. And I suppose similar, especially along these headlands where there's so many houses, if everybody just does a little bit, it could look pristine and beautiful.
Righto, come and listen to Ben. You remember Ben from last year?
Yes, I do.
He'll tell you what he wants you to do.
You guys were so good last time. I'm glad you've come back. Very careful with the
Levi.
tools, because they're sharp.
I'm Ebony, and that's Alex.
They're miles away from where you sit there. Well, I suppose you have to keep up your flexibility, and it's not aerobically demanding doing this sort of work, but I sometimes think at least I don't need to go and do yoga because I'm already getting in the funny positions and meditating on what I'm doing. So
this is the first time I've been to this area, so it's good to get out. But yeah, no, basically I'm in a different bush care group, which is one up at Pittwater, and a lot of people come and support us. So it's nice to come and support other groups of people too. Why I do this is for a sense of community. You meet lots of different people from different walks of life, but it's also just caring for our environment. I think that somebody's got to do it, and if nobody does it, then we'll be overrun, and all our beautiful bush areas will just be full of weeds and bush, and nobody will appreciate it.
You can do exercise, but after it's done, you haven't benefited anything or anybody but yourself. But here, I can. It's a win-win.
We have our asparagus fern. This one's got berries all over it. So what you do is, you've got to find the centre of it. Okay, there might be a few here. This looks like a big carpet of it at the moment. So if you get your secateurs and take all the seeds off them and bag them. Taking on it. There's the centre there. Put the seeds in the bag, and then I'll get that crown, and that's a big one, so I'll get it with a pedal lever. And if you feel in there, you can feel the hard woody crown. Sharp on the end, and you just get around. You don't need to work too hard, you just let the lever do the work. And that's the crown there. It's the really woody rhizome that builds up. Yeah. That's all you need to get it all.
Mainly because I live in the area and I walk here every day, and I think a little bit of work that I can do might help and keep this headland as nice as it is. It's just lovely, and we're so lucky to have it. So if my spending a couple of hours here pulling this out helps to keep it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ken Hughes. I think I know all of you. I'd just like to say thank you all so much for coming today. It's exercises like this that with a good follow-up bush care group that can really make a difference to asparagus fern. Days like today don't come cheaply, and we're most grateful today for DATS Environmental Services and Pittwater Council for donating the money for the lunch.
Can I just add that this is an endangered ecological community up here, Pittwater grassland. If you go for a walk up the track, you'll come out into an open grassy patch, and that's actually being painstakingly hand weeded with the help of grant funding to save the Pittwater. So every little bit helps, and your work today is an enormous boost. Just one day like today does make a really big difference. So I wouldn't
yeah, don't be discouraged and thinking, oh, we're not doing much here, because it does make a difference, and over time you see the changes.
And we benefit from it, but I think we've got to face our responsibilities to help look after it, and I really love doing it. Whenever I get out into the bush, I forget any sort of problems or hassles at home, and if I'm not feeling the best, I get back down here dealing with weeds and I feel really great. And saves me going from the gym, and when I finished my session of work I can look back and see that I've made a difference. So it strikes me as strange that we keep hearing about the ageing population, and we're not all in our wheelchairs, and there's lots of people who are retired and getting on a bit but very fit. They've got plenty of time to spare, and I think it's a great way that they could occupy themselves when they retire. It's easy to get the skills. You can join a group, get some help from the council, and I just think it's a wonderful thing to do.